We were pretty famous back in high school. Trust us!
Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast?
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous.
So yeah, but the second the second we say hit record, then it's all of a sudden like, oh no, now I have a giant gas bubble in my throat and I can't even talk for like 10 seconds. Anyways, let's do this.
Yeah, I'm
so jazzed.
I'm raring to go.
Woo! Hello. And welcome to
and welcome to High School Famous. The podcast that may or may not get through
an entire episode.
A session. I'm Sean.
I'm Matt.
Well, it's another glorious day, Matt.
Is it?
We are just...
we're live.
We're just content producing mofos with all the proper tools necessary for a smooth production.
Yeah, no technical issues here.
Nope. But there is one giant issue to address.
What's
and that's
that?
the giant issue of TikTok, Matt.
Ooh, yeah. Let's talk about TikTok like we haven't already.
Let's for the first time ever reveal to our steady listeners that we have begun posting things on TikTok. I guess you'd call them videos.
They're technically videos.
I mean
most of them have moving parts.
Yeah. Most of the time, I mean, the obvious focus is the small clips of audio we are pulling from episodes.
Yeah.
But they're accompanied with little video snippets that may or may not be relevant to the audio that's being played. Right. And TikTok is all about adding that music. So there's a lot of times there's a little bit of music underneath and text popping in and out and stickers and a whole bunch of fun.
Yeah. I just make clips for you.
Yep.
And you do all the other posting stuff.
Both of us have been pulling
scouring
clips we like to throw in, and I do the rest.
Ooh, yeah. Hey, if anybody knows of any clips they'd like to hear, like some sort of like favorite clip of theirs, you should let us know. And then we will put it in there. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Actually.
But you know what?
Anything
Matt,
that jumps out at you.
I'm gonna be honest, Matt.
Yep.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real here.
I would hope you'd be nothing but real.
I'm gonna, as they say, keep it 100 by saying that there's no use in reaching out for anything from listeners.
We might have gotten some new listeners from our TikTok activities at this point.
True.
And those people might be more open to reaching out to us, seeing as our current friends and family that listen to this do not.
Well, especially if they, if they seem to be frequent TikTok users, they might help out in the creation of more TikTok posts if that's what they like.
True.
So that's a good point.
So yeah, I mean, let's do this, people. Let's start reaching out. We if you like certain things we do that we stopped doing and you don't hear them anymore, we don't know that you like them because you didn't tell us. So Sean and I are just going to do what we want.
Well, one good thing we could take from that is most of feedback on the internet is fueled by hate.
True.
And so since we haven't received any word, it's fair to assume, I would say, that nobody has downright hated something we've done.
Oh, but that would be fun too. If somebody came out with some hate mail on us, I think we could have some fun with that.
I would like that, actually.
That would be great.
I mean, I would enjoy some...
I mean, don't do it on purpose. If you're listening, don't just do it on purpose. If you really do hate us and you want to send us hate mail, go for it. But don't just do it because we're asking for it.
We don't want any manufactured hate. We want only organic, legitimate hatred.
Yeah.
And, based on some reaction we would get from some classmates we had in high school during that time, I'm not gonna say it's impossible that there are people that hate us or hate what we say and do, at least.
Right.
So
I mean, I would assume and think that a lot of people become more tolerant after high school. I mean, some people grow less tolerant, but I think a lot of the people that were kind of dicks and assholes in high school soften up a little bit, after high school. They realize that they were being dicks.
I remember
I don't know.
being invited to a party by someone who was a pretty popular person in high school and basically wouldn't give me the time of day.
Okay.
And this was, I believe it was it might have even been the summer after we graduated high school.
Okay.
And I even, this was me back then, but I even said, what are you hurting for people? Like, why are you inviting me to your party? And they said, we're not in high school anymore. As if to say, like, we're not petty. We're grown up and matured now. We can all get along. But
it's like, you had to graduate to be that way?
Pretty much. That's kind of what I got from it. And I was like,
look,
what?
I don't have to put on face anymore. I'm no longer in high school. We can be friends now.
I'm actually a decent person. It was really exhausting pretending not to be for.
It was kind of funny because originally at the beginning of that scenario, you were kind of the dick, being like, "Oh, what are you hurting for people?"
Well, no. It was more of a self-deprecating thing. Like, what brought you this low to invite me to your party when you basically acted like you didn't know me when we were in high school?
Right.
So, that was my the basis for that question. It wasn't like, wow, your party must really suck if you're inviting me. So, I mean, I suppose it could be taken that way.
Your stock really plummeted after high school.
I could see that a lot of things I would say could be taken a more negative way than I meant.
You, for a long time...
We don't need to get into that.
It's high school famous. It's high school famous. Why are you trying to shut me down?
I mean, go ahead. Go ahead with your
assessment. For a long time, you were pretty well known as giving off really bad first impressions of yourself.
Yes.
Because you kind of didn't care.
But once people got to know me,
they
that
realized
all
it
changed.
was all true.
Like, oh, I was right. Why did I not run away? Why did I keep talking to this lad?
I think you just...
My dad would say.
I think for whatever reason, you were just like, I have my set of friends. I'm content with that. I don't need to know this person, so I don't care enough to be nice to them.
The thing is, I don't know if it would have been different had I not had my set of friends. Like, if I had no friends, I don't know. I mean, I probably would have been different. I probably would have been trying harder to make more friends.
Yeah, because some of the people that you consider really good friends with you, like now even since high school, you gave really bad first impressions to some of those people that are considered some of your closest friends.
That's true. So that was my strategy. If you stuck around through that, then we're good.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but
largely, I would say I got along with quite a lot of people in school.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even say that I had this gigantic reputation about myself.
No, but of all people, like, you were the one that would do that, like, more often than other people. You would give off really bad first impressions. If you had like an inkling of that you didn't like somebody, you just didn't even try to fake it. You just straight up like, I don't like you,
And that's why, listeners, that's why we respect organic hate.
Yes.
And not manufactured hate. Don't pretend. Same thing goes for positive energy as well. Don't think we just want negative energy coming our way. Just something. Give me some energy. Oh God, it's been so long since I've had energy.
If you were to say have some energy, how would you store that energy?
Well, I used to,
this is an inside joke now.
Piles, but I would say piles, but I've been told that's not smart or safe.
Yeah.
Or effective. Yeah, energy doesn't really.
That's funny. Only
energy
to
doesn't
us.
Really stick. Huh?
I said, ha ha ha. That's funny only to us.
Only to us, but not even to us. I'd say.
Yeah. It was more so. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
because I brought it back up.
Do you want to like?
So Sean, let's do something because just talking to each other doesn't seem to be working.
We are talking over each other a lot. This is a disadvantage I've come to remember. We had some episodes we recorded together, and the flow is a little bit better, I'd say.
Yeah.
And now that we're talking virtually again, it's like we'll just interrupt each other and both stop talking to let the other person finish, and neither of us finish.
Right, because that's because since we both have like a slight, it's probably like a 1.5 delay back both ways. So as soon as you like pause for a second, I think you're done. So I start going, but then you start talking again, and then we're both talking over the top of each other.
I guess the true strategy is to never stop talking so that there's never an awkward pause so that the other person can't mistakenly jump in thinking that the other person has stopped talking. But then what does that happen? That means that there's only a one-sided conversation where the second person never even gets to start talking. Yeah. And then when the person runs out of breath when they start talking, and then maybe the person who is not talking thinks that they've paused when they're pausing to take a breath, and so they start talking. But then it's just going to end with a big disaster, and no one's going to want to listen to that ever. And then I wouldn't even want to listen to that, but here I am doing it. And puppies and kittens and dragons and backboards.
Oh, are you done?
Yeah, for now. If you have something to say, you can go ahead.
I don't. I did, and then I forgot because you wouldn't stop.
I mean,
shoot.
Yeah, I can't go on like that forever, man. I was hoping you weren't expecting me to continue on with that for the rest of the session here.
Well, I was hoping. But yeah. So, Sean, what should we do right now? You had a plan, right? You had something. You
sort of.
I mean, you did something.
I just, yeah. I mean, listening back to the older episodes to find some clips, it inspired me to look at some very awesomely bad movies and see if we can find anything hilarious about them. So, in doing so, I found a couple funny things about a couple movies, so it wasn't really enough to fill a whole lot of time. So we could go over that if we want, but I did find the full plot that's listed out for this movie called Terror Toons is pretty wacky. So we can just go straight to that if you want. Otherwise,
let's give it a shot, because I've never heard of this movie, and I'm curious as to what other movies you pulled up, because just to know if I had seen any of those either, but.
Well, first, how about I just go through the titles of the other movies that I looked up?
Okay.
And put some notes down for us. So one is called The Horror of Party Beach.
Ooh, fancy.
There's Manos, The Hands of Fate.
Yeah, I've heard of that one, and I know a bit about it, and it's also an episode that I brought up on our third episode where we talked about those three movies.
Okay. Blood Freak.
Ooh.
The Beast of Yucca Flats.
Okay.
And then Terror Toons. I think there was maybe one or two other ones, but I didn't find anything super notable to put out about those on here. So,
well, let's talk about this Terror Toons, Sean.
All right. Well, Terror Toons. It's a 2002 American comedy horror film, directed by Joe Castro and written by Rudy Bailey. And let's just get into the plot. Looks like the film was followed up by 3 sequels. Terror Toons 2, The Sick and the Silly Show, Terror Toons 3, and Terror Toons 4. I guess the other 2 sequels didn't get second titles.
Well, I'm just glad they went numerically at least.
I know. I mean, because you got the franchise just do all the Fast and the Furious movies have a number in the title? I don't think they do.
I don't. I mean, no, I don't think they do, because the third one was Tokyo Drift. Though some people kind of, I don't know if it's out, that one's out of order though from the other ones. I'm going to look it up right now, but I know a lot of them have because the second one's Too Fast, Too Furious.
Sure.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so we're going to jump into the plot of Terror Toons 2002. In the cartoon dimension, mad scientist Dr. Carnage experiments on a man, then disembowels him and rips his skull out through his stomach. On Earth, sisters Cindy and...
What? Hold on. Why did you pull the skull out through the stomach? All the places that has to go through to get to that point, and to get it to actually come out through the... Are we talking through the stomach, like the abdomen, or through his actual stomach?
It just says stomach. I would
because then you're thinking the skull has to go into the esophagus, and
this suggests that the guy has already been opened up in the abdominal area, and maybe even through the stomach itself, and then Dr. Carnage must have reached up through the stomach to get to the skull, or in order to pull it out through the stomach. That's the only way you could really do that.
There's so many better ways to get the head or skull out of the body. I could like saying that like I know a bunch of different ways. This is a cartoon.
What are the? Huh?
This is a cartoon.
Oh well, this was in the cartoon dimension that this took place.
Okay.
So all it says is
so I'm
on
thinking
here
part of this movie is live action, part of this is cartoon.
Well, Terror Toons. I mean, it should speak for itself. Yes, I believe that some of this is live action and some of this is animated.
That's why I was curious. I'm like, I figured there was animation at least, but I didn't know if it was some of each. All right. Skull through the stomach. Moving on.
Yep. Okay. So this was all taking place in the cartoon dimension. So back on Earth, we run into Cindy and Candy.
Sandy and Candy, of course.
Huh?
I said Sandy and Candy, of course. They have to have rhyming names. Oh, Cindy.
Cindy and Candy.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, let's not get crazy.
Hmm.
I mean, they are two names that only differentiate themselves with one letter. They're spelled exactly the same except for an I and an A.
Oh.
So Cindy and Candy are left alone with Cindy's friend Amy, while Cindy and Amy call over Rick and Eddie. Candy watches a Terror Toons DVD that she received in the mail.
Okay, so this movie's meta as hell immediately?
Yeah. So
also, way too many characters way too quickly. That's 5 characters just boom.
Yeah, I mean, this shouldn't be hard to keep track. Cindy and Candy are left alone with Cindy's friend Amy, while Cindy and Amy call over Rick and Eddie. Candy watches the Terror Toons DVD. I mean, how this is? Yeah, no,
I'm following you.
Follow.
I got it.
And
Cindy,
if this
Candy,
is 2002,
Amy,
if this is 2002,
Rick and Eddie,
I'm guessing that I'm clearly talking, and I'm not stopping to make you think I'm done talking. So
I believe we both started talking at a very similar time.
Correct, but I have something important to say.
Is any of this important?
All I was going to say was 2002, I'm guessing if she received a DVD in the mail, it might be through the Netflix platform, which started off doing
I'm so happy that you got that important piece of information out. Please continue with this movie.
No. Proceed with what you were trying to say.
I was mentioning the names of the people because you said it was so easy, so I said, here's all the names of the people, and I think I got it right. I have no idea at this point.
Okay,
moving on.
So your big contribution was to re-list off character names that I just finished listing off, while I produced a new thought.
Because it was important.
Okay. Would you like me to go through the names again?
I'd like you to continue on with this plot, because
Okay, I'm going to continue right on talking about Cindy and Candy and Eddie and Rick and Amy in the movie Terror Toons.
Okay. So for the record, I did get them right.
Okay, so she's watching the Terror Toons DVD in the mail. That she got in the mail. She's not watching it in the mail. Created by Satan, the DVD depicts the antics of Dr. Carnage and his accomplice, Max Assassin. Max Assassin now is a stolen lab monkey that was mutated into a monster by Carnage.
Okay.
I don't recall them really demonstrating that the name Max Assassin was earned in any way by the lab monkey's skill set.
Okay.
But because why is an assassin working in a lab? But anyway.
Yeah. Oh, because it's his assistant? Because the Max Assassin's his assistant?
Well, I guess it's a stolen lab monkey. So whether that means it's a monkey that gets experimented on in a lab or the monkey works in the lab, either way, the monkey was stolen and is a lab monkey.
And it got mutated into a monster, though.
Yes, it was mutated into a monster by Carnage, and then that's, I'm guessing, where he got the name Max Assassin.
Well, that's what I thought you said. He was assisted by he had his assistant Max Assassin or something. You said, right?
Yeah. So Dr. Carnage and his accomplice.
Oh, his accomplice.
Max Assassin.
Okay, that's where I.
Yes, Max Assassin, who is
his accomplice in
a
what?
stolen lab monkey that was mutated into a monster by Carnage.
Gotcha.
Does that mean that does that mean that he became his accomplice when he was mutated into a monster, or he was already his accomplice and during the movie he was mutated into a monster by Carnage for some other purpose? We don't know.
Yeah, or is it just that do we even see throughout the movie the monkey getting transformed into this monster, or do they just explain that?
Well,
at some point.
I mean,
he used to be a lab monkey.
Yeah, maybe it's just a piece of exposition they just threw in.
Yeah, that would be super unnecessary.
It's a throwaway line.
Yeah,
Like, how do you like my accomplice, Max Assassin? He used to be a lab monkey that was stolen. But I mutated I mutated him into a monster.
And then everybody's like, wait, so was he your accomplice before you mutated him? Or
once you mutated him, did he stop being your accomplice? And did he become an assassin? Like, why is he named Max Assassin?
Was he named Max Assassin before you abducted him or stole him, or whatever, however you want to word that? Was he your assistant before you took him from the other lab?
Yeah, like, is the name Assassin just his name, or was it his profession? And is he Max Assassin because he assassins to the max, or assassinates to the max?
Or he's done the max amount of assassin?
Yeah, like, he's done the max amount of assassinating, so he's no longer an assassin, and so he just went down to become a lab monkey? What's happening?
But he's a monster? Because you mutated him, so he's not really a lab monkey anymore? Can he be a lab monkey again? Can you unmutate him?
That's a good question. Dr. Carnage. Yeah. Did you go to medical school, Dr. Carnage? Are you from the cartoon dimension? Or did you visit the cartoon dimension in order to rip out skulls via the stomach area?
Yes, I went to dental school.
And the best way I found to access the teeth is through the stomach.
Oh, you need plenty of work done on these teeth. I better remove your skull.
Yes.
I mean, that would be the easiest way to clean teeth.
It would. I mean, that way the person doesn't get tired holding their mouth open. You know, their jaw doesn't get sore. Mm-hmm. You know, there's no worry about them accidentally, choking on the water they spray in or any of the saliva that runs back into the throat while getting the work done.
That's why he has Max Assassin work for him. Max Assassin kills the people so that he can take their skulls out to clean their teeth.
Yes, and then somehow they replace the skull and bury the body.
Yep.
So doing the dental work was for what?
It's a fetish.
It is a fetish. It's one of his many quirks.
I mean, every time I clean my teeth,
one of Dr. Carnage's many quirks.
Many quirks. He has a big fetish for cleaning teeth. Whilst they are no longer inside of the person.
He's very against murder, but it's kind of the only way he can do his dental work.
He gets super squeamish about it, and he's like, he can't watch.
It's an inner struggle. He's always he's always fighting that, his morals versus his fetish. What's he gonna do? Who's gonna win?
Fetish wins every time.
Fetish wins all the time. Yeah. You know it, audience, listeners. Anywho, so as Cindy and her friends play, that common game, Strip Ouija. We've all done it. We've all played ourselves a nice, wholesome game of Strip Ouija.
Yep.
I mean, before baseball, it was America's pastime.
How exactly do you play Strip Ouija?
That's a great question. I do not have an answer, but let's just say if you place your hands on the little thing, I don't know what the thing's called, the indicator or the
pointer or whatever.
And, let's say if you ask it to move or you ask a question and it starts to move, I guess maybe you remove an article of clothing. Or if it doesn't move, you remove an article of clothing. Or if anything happens, you remove an article of clothing.
So it's less Strip Ouija and just, we're going to take our clothes off. Oh, there's a Ouija board right there.
Yeah. Just to pass this off as, a sort of fun teenage game, let's throw a Ouija board in the middle of the floor.
Yeah. What if...
so we can say...
What if one of the girls was all like, maybe she wasn't as attractive as the other ones. And then everybody's like, one girl's like, should I take off my shirt? And the thing goes, yes. And then she's all like, yeah, because this girl's getting really into it. She's super horny, but she's just nobody, she's not the prettiest girl. And then it goes no for her.
You probably just cracked how Strip Ouija works. One person goes up, puts their hands on the thing and goes, should I take my shirt off? And then if it goes to yes or no, that depends on that decides your fate.
Like it just goes right over super easy, and then the unattractive person. I won't just say it's a girl. Say it's an unattractive person. It's like the little nerdy. There's always the little nerdy kid, the little nerd kid that wants to get laid in every movie, right? He's struggling really hard to push it over to yes, and it's just fighting him the entire time.
I remember that character in Free Willy.
Not in every movie, but
oh,
For some reason, I thought you were going to say, yes, I remember that being me.
Yeah, that was me. Okay. So as Cindy and her friends play strip Ouija, Candy dozes off. Yeah, Candy dozes off, awakening when Carnage and Max, we're on first name basis now, even though Dr. Carnage is last name. When Carnage and Max appear in her room, the two rip Candy's spine out, behead her friend Tommy when he drops by, dismember a pizza delivery man. Huh?
I was going to say, who's Tommy?
Yeah, Tommy was not there before, but I guess this all happens after Candy dozes off.
Okay.
She awakens when all these things happen. So either all these things happen at once, or it takes her a long time to really wake up and figure out what's going on. But the two rip Candy's spine out, behead her friend Tommy when he drops by, dismember a pizza delivery man with a giant pizza cutter, which I guess they had with them,
apparently,
for just this scenario, and do a hypnotic disco dance number that causes Eddie to vomit up his own innards.
Well, that is definitely not how the human body works at all. So was it the strip Ouija that caused them to come to Earth from the cartoon realm?
That's not really made clear here.
Okay, they just show up for some reason when they go to sleep. Cindy goes to sleep.
My guess is it's because Candy was watching the Satan created Terror Toons DVD. That could have been what summoned Carnage and Max to their location.
Gotcha.
So that was a whole bunch of really awful stuff.
Yeah, in like a very short period of time, just a bunch of murder.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
technically, three murders, and then one person died due to a medical issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
The legitimate medical issue of vomiting out your own innards after witnessing some bad dancing.
Yeah. But technically, that's not a murder.
You're right. No, it's not.
Yeah.
I suppose it might be considered accidental suicide.
Yeah. Or like unintentional manslaughter or something. Involuntary. Is that involuntary manslaughter? That's a weird phrase,
maybe?
By the way.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, because they don't call it voluntary manslaughter, do they?
I think they just call it manslaughter.
Yeah. So
I don't
involuntary.
think they put voluntary.
Yeah, because I think of like when you're going to do overtime at work, sometimes there's involuntary overtime and voluntary overtime, which means you're forced to do it. If involuntary is you're forced.
They would say mandatory and not involuntary.
Right. That's true. Now that I think of it, yep, 100% of the time, that's what they say.
Yeah, they say mandatory overtime. They never use the term involuntary overtime.
Everybody has to come in. It's involuntary overtime today.
You know how everyone says, they jokingly say, I was voluntold, or I'm being voluntold to have to do this. I tried to get the term mandateering to take off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't go anywhere. Yet.
So.
Yarden. So.
You're going to try to throw Yarden into every episode now?
I didn't try to throw it in. I totally threw it in. So, innards are vomited out. Poor Eddie. Let's move on. Now, naturally, what would you do if you saw this kind of stuff happen? What would the survivors do? They would try to maybe what?
They would all split up to try to find the killer on their own.
They would try to escape. Good call, Matt. So, what happens when they try to escape? Who's left, right? We have Cindy, we have Amy, and we have Rick, and they try to escape.
Right.
But when they try to escape, they discover that all of the doors have been replaced by vertigo-inducing spirals.
Okay.
So this leaves our heroes in a pickle. And poor Rick, he's taken, and he has his brain experimented on by Carnage and Max, while Cindy and Amy are separated when a police officer who was released from Terror Toons is blown up by a stick of dynamite that was hidden in a box of donuts. So that specific action caused Amy and Cindy to become split up and separated.
Oh, of course. The explosion, it blew them both different directions.
The old dynamite hidden inside of a box of donuts to lure in a cartoon cop. Trick.
Okay, so he was a cartoon cop. All right.
Well, he's a police officer who was released from Terror Toons.
Right.
So I guess that means that Terror Toons I guess that means he was trapped inside the DVD of Terror Toons, and I don't know how he was released from Terror Toons. Must have been by Dr. Carnage or Satan.
Yeah, but if they released him, then why would they immediately blow him up? You think anything coming out of that DVD is gonna like help, like assist the other bad guys?
Well, I mean, think about it. I mean, if this is a police officer, all they're gonna do is gonna try to stop any crimes, like horrible disco dance numbers.
Is that what all police officers do?
That's what cartoon police officers do, from what I have witnessed on television.
Okay.
All right. So Cindy is then captured by Carnage, and now Rick has been lobotomized. So Cindy is captured, Rick is lobotomized, and they're both forced to watch as they're both forced to watch as Carnage and Max. I like how his name is Max Assassin, and they just reduce it down to Max during the rest of this. Like, the cooler part of his name is removed. He's just Max now. But they're both forced to watch as Carnage and Max saw Amy in half as part of a magic act.
Where did they catch Amy? They never said they even caught Amy. They said they caught Cindy, and now Amy's just caught.
He's just, Because, all they said was that Cindy and Amy got separated. Yeah. When the police officer
Cindy
blew up.
Caught.
Cindy got caught, but now Amy is also caught. And I'm not sure what qualifies it. I'm not sure what qualifies as a magic act, but I don't think you can call it a magic act if you're just legitimately sawing somebody's body in half.
Right.
That's just called brutality and mangling and
it's just an act at that point.
It's just an act, right? What?
Yep. I mean,
an act of terror,
an act of murder. Yeah.
Toons.
It's an act of terror. But yeah, I guess it was not as much a magic act as like a magic look-alike act. I don't know. It was made to look like a magic act.
It was a magic illusion. It was the illusion of magic.
Oh, that's what all magic is.
Yeah. So now, the two villains then take Cindy to a cartoon version of hell, and they present her to the devil.
Okay. Like how it's a cartoon version of hell.
Yeah. Well, it's probably in the cartoon dimension.
Right, but still. As opposed to the non-cartoon version of hell, you know.
Right. Yeah, they didn't have the budget to take them to real hell, so they had to go with the cartoon version of hell. And in this moment, the devil explains that he intends to use Terror Toons to ravage the earth and corrupt children.
Okay.
Now,
so here's the problem I'm having with that right off the bat, right? So they want to use the DVD to corrupt children. But so far, what we've seen is the DVD murdering people.
Right.
No corruption has happened, just all murder.
And my question is, why is it that these people just watching the DVD in this moment, how is that going to impact the devil's plan at all? He doesn't seem like they're doing anything to thwart his plan. They're just watching Terror Toons.
Oh, so that's the problem he has? It's like, oh, you guys are watching this. I needed to stop you because I need these to corrupt children?
Well, I don't know because...
Okay.
We're
probably thinking way too much about this.
Probably, but it's just like, why did all these people have to get murdered and she have to be taken to the devil in order for him to explain this to her?
Right. Why didn't they just murder her too?
He's like, oh, someone's watching my DVD that I don't intend to corrupt? Okay, I'm going to use the other copies of this DVD to go forward with my plan.
We better bring her down to hell so I can give her a stern talking to.
Yeah. Oh.
So hold on. It's Cindy. Did Cindy and Rick both go to hell or get brought to hell, even though Rick's been lobotomized, or is it just Cindy?
Just Cindy. So Cindy's in the cartoon version of hell. I figured, what's the point of explaining a plan to a lobotomized person?
Well, yeah, that's why I wasn't sure because I don't even know why they even mentioned that Rick and Cindy were both, viewing the magic show that wasn't really a magic show.
Well, because I don't know. I guess they were the ones who were forced to watch Amy get sawed in half. So
okay, but they left Rick behind. They went to hell. All right, we're in hell. They're getting scolded. Let's go.
They're in hell. Now this worries Cindy because, well, this doesn't worry Cindy, but Cindy, she uses her brain on this one. She's realizing that anything is possible in cartoons. Cindy becomes a superhero and challenges the devil. who then sends her back to her house. So
I love the vagueness of she becomes a superhero.
Right. And I like how they leave any detail out about this challenge. She just challenges the devil, so he sends her back to her house. Is it that she was too powerful and he sends her back because there's no way he can win? Or I don't know.
Or she's like, I bet you couldn't send me back to my house. He's like, oh, I'll show you.
Yeah. Like, what's the challenge? Like, I'm going to stop you. Oh, I don't know. But
was that
seems very underwhelming.
End? Was that the end of it?
No. There's more.
Oh, okay.
But it just seems the whole concept of her turning into a superhero and challenging him just seems how it turned out just seems very underwhelming. Well, I'm not having this, and I'll send you back to your house, and I'll continue on with my plan. Like,
well, I guess what's decent about that then is that if he sends her back to her house, she can no longer be a superhero because now she's out of the cartoon realm. Maybe that was the point of it.
That's probably the point of it. Now that that's a good point. Send her back to the real world where she can no longer have the powers, which makes her a formidable impediment to his plan.
Okay.
All right. So after discovering a machine that is producing the Terror Toons DVDs, Cindy is attacked by Max, but she uses her new powers to snap his neck.
But she's not in the cartoon realm.
But she uses her new powers to snap his neck.
Okay, so a couple questions here.
And let me finish first. And stomp his brain out. Go ahead.
Seems
snapping his neck didn't kill him enough. I'm going to stomp his brain out.
First issue I have. She got sent back to her house. Is that where the machine is that's building DVDs? Like in her house?
Well, again, I would wonder how this went unnoticed for so long, if that were the case.
Right. Okay, second issue. You don't need superpowers you don't need your newfound powers to break someone's neck.
Right.
Anyone can do that.
The only thing I could think of, well, I'm sure, by that I mean this is the first time I've given it any thought. So I guess I could say the first thing I thought of is that maybe he's a monster, so maybe she just needed to be powerful enough, as in strong enough, to be able to overpower him and snap his neck.
Got it.
Because in her frail female human form, that isn't built for any kind of manual labor or physical activity outside of maybe jumping jacks or something, and pushing a vacuum around. Without her powers, she wouldn't be able to take down Max Assassin, the mutated lab monkey monster. So
sure,
she broke his neck, stomped his brain out, and I think it's interesting that they just used the singular form of brain, because you usually might say like, "Oh, stomped his brains out," or whatever.
Right.
Okay. So then, when Carnage comes at her with a giant axe, Cindy uses it against him, cutting his head in half with it.
Okay.
So the big
like
final climactic
battle
against her and Carnage just seems like he comes out with her an axe. She says, "Nope, I'm going to use the axe on you." Cut. Dead.
And the axe is like, and just turns around and She never touched it. She's just like, nope. The illusion of magic.
But you think it would be over after that?
I mean, I hope it's not.
But unfortunately, when Carnage's head gets cut in half with the axe, tiny monsters begin to pour out of Carnage's split skull.
Oh no! But she's got superpowers, right? So we'll be okay.
But then they don't go into what happens after that. Cindy just destroys the Terror Toons DVD press with a crowbar.
Where'd the crowbar come from?
No, but also, why not use the giant axe that she just used to split Carnage's head in half? That probably would have been a much quicker way to destroy the DVD press. But no, she's going to put that weapon down, even though she could have used her powers to probably remove it from the skull, and just find a crowbar somewhere.
Well, I mean, she's strong enough to break a neck. She could probably destroy a DVD press.
Right. I don't know what the crowbar did to help in her destruction of this machine, especially if she's powerful enough now to snap a giant mutated lab monkey's head or neck, stomp out his brain, use a giant axe, which was probably a cartoon. Maybe she couldn't use a cartoon axe on a real machine.
Do we know it was even a real machine?
We don't know if it was a real machine. We don't know if it was a cartoon axe. We don't know if it was a real lab monkey.
Do we know if any of this movie has any live action in it even? It might just be all cartoon, but just there's two separate worlds.
Yeah,
Are you going to look up some imagery from it or something? Here's the problem I have with this movie.
Single problem? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I know, right? Here's my main problem I have with this movie. This description of the movie was just vague enough where now I feel like I need to watch it, and I hate that.
There's a little more. There's a little bit more. There's
God, good. Okay.
So
then
the end Cindy and Candy... No, but who knows? But maybe. But following the destruction of the DVD press with the crowbar, Cindy and Candy's parents, which I guess they didn't mention that they were siblings before, unless they're just two sets of parents. But anyway, Cindy and Candy's parents return home from a wedding, and they find Rick, who's been lobotomized, banging his head against a wall, while Cindy laughs hysterically, surrounded by the remains of her friends and sister.
Oh, so it looks like she just murdered everyone.
It does, but then, next door, a boy finds another copy of Terror Toons in his mailbox and rushes inside with it. The boy's front door slams shut, and Carnage's giggle is heard.
Like, the second the door slammed shut, like, that kid got that movie in and started playing it real quick.
So what this means, since Carnage has got his head cut in half by Cindy, is that he just lives on inside every copy of the DVD that's been pressed.
Right. So there's however many DVDs there are, there's that, that number of Carnages out in the world.
That's how many Carnages there are.
Them. They can't be stopped.
So I want to find the page that had this movie on the list, because I think there were some things that would clue us into whether or not there was any live action and any cartoon or animation in this movie. So it says, have you ever wondered what Who Framed Roger Rabbit would look like if it had been made by a serial killer for serial killers? You come to the right place. Terror Toons is an animation comes to life tale so cheap, so demented, so sleazy, and so nasty that watching even a single frame is like vomiting up your soul and then doing unspeakable things to its prostrate form. Prostrate form? Let's start with the cheap Terror Toons. Terror Toons had a whopping budget of $2,300.
Jesus Christ.
It was shot in 3 days using locations that not only had to be available to director Joe Castro on short notice, but whose owners wouldn't mind him filming a vomit-inducing sex and death romp in them. Boy, does that show. The plot is meant to be Roger Rabbit for people who spent their formative years in a cult. Satan sends a haunted DVD to a family that makes cartoons come alive and try to super kill them. But combining live action with animation ain't something you can do on the cheap. So the killer Toons are dudes in plastic masks, and actual animation is limited to badly overlaid shots of googly eyes and spinning circles and other pointlessness.
Sean, while you were telling me all of that, I found the Terror Toons official trailer on YouTube.
Oh no, I haven't watched anything. This list includes I could watch a trailer from this list too.
Oh, that is my god. All right. Pull it up.
I mean, now I'm going to start. Yep, I'm going to watch it too. It's 2 minutes long, but I'm not going to sit through the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm about 52 seconds into it, and there was a shot of a girl getting an axe to the head, and that's what made me laugh. It's bad. I'm not listening to it, though. I have my audio muted.
Right. In a world.
Fucking Satan. There's a guy dressed as Satan sitting in front of like a green screen.
This is way worse than I could have imagined.
Isn't it? I think Satan was sitting in a wheelchair.
Oh, really?
It looked like it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. This is awful. You're right. I think it was. It might have been that or a director's chair.
Yeah, like, wait until you see the scene of this, like, the probe coming at the dude's head.
I'm just watching. Oh my gosh. This is so horrible. Well,
all right,
here's
everybody
one thing
needs to look up. Yeah, everybody has to look this up. Oh my god, that was...
Doesn't one of the dudes...
Oh, there she is, a superhero. She's punching the crap out of the monkey.
Doesn't one of the dudes look like Chris Evans?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, so
we have... I guess, oh my god, we need to watch this movie.
I would encourage anyone to look up the trailer for Terror Toons, or if you're feeling up to it, just look up a way you can watch the whole movie. But man, this is...
The dude getting decapitated by scissors.
You can definitely see that this was a $2,300 movie.
I was about to say, you could definitely see where the budget went.
Yeah. Ooh.
There's 4 of these movies, Sean.
There are 4. I wonder what the budget is, or what the budget was for the sequels. If it was, what do you think would be? What would you prefer if the budgets were less or more or about the same
for the following movies?
Yeah, for the sequels.
I mean, I feel like they would have to be a little bit more to even, because it seems like even to get even the same quality of what you do in the first movie, you kind of almost have to double your budget for the second one. It always seems like, because I don't know. But I just typed in Terror Toons into YouTube, and the full movie is there.
It's on YouTube?
It's an hour and 17 minutes long, which is to me already amazing that it's that long.
Yeah,
it was uploaded 3 months ago.
I might know what I'm doing tonight.
I literally feel like I might have to sit and watch this later tonight too. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me today. It's a weird sentence.
When I was looking stuff up, estimated budget for Terror Toons 2.
Yeah.
$175,000.
Jesus Christ. The first movie did that well that he found backers to.
I guess. Okay.
I mean,
click
this
on Terror
thing.
Toons 3 and see.
Oh my God, it looks so garbagey. It's so fantastically bad looking. Like the woman's eye, when the woman's eyes bugged out and they were just literally like animated eye, like drawings of eyes that came out towards the screen.
Now,
and there was a clip. Oh God, this is so good.
Now, the exploding popularity of the Terror Toons franchise must have dwindled after the second movie, because the estimated budget for the third movie was only $50,000.
Oh.
Down from $175,000 in the previous movie. And then I'm going to find Terror Toons 4, and we're going to... First of all, let me see. When did Terror Toons 4 come out? Does this really say in production, expected 2021? Is that for this movie? Release date 2021. 2021.
Oh.
Release date.
All right. So, Sean, here's what we're going to do, right?
Okay.
We are going to do... I haven't even looked to see if we can watch all... Like, I see Terror Toons 3 also on YouTube. But what I feel like we need to do here is... Me and you're going to watch these movies and we can do a commentary while we're watching these movies so that people can, if they want to, they can watch along with us as we're talking about them. But since they're on YouTube, I don't see why there's any issue with us doing this.
No, and we don't even have, we could just have it. So, I mean,
the upload will just be our audio.
We'll have to iron out the details on how we're going to do it. But yeah, I think that's a fun idea.
I think we need to do this at some point, whether or not we release those as actual episodes or if we're going to want to put those up on our Patreon or something. But I think we need to do that.
Yeah.
Because
unfortunately, since this says...
So I feel like wait to watch it.
Production.
I'm done. Go ahead.
Oh. I don't see an estimated budget for this one since I think it's still in production. So that's that.
So, all right. So don't watch the movie yet, because I think we need to definitely do a commentary on these. I thought I found some bad movies to talk about. 2002. It came out in 2002. That looked like an early This looks early 90s.
It definitely.
Special effects and everything.
It looks pretty bad.
Yeah. I so want to watch it now, though, but I'm going to wait.
I'm going to wait too. Right. I'm not going to watch it.
I'm so excited. This is okay.
I even like the second, the subtitle or whatever for 2. It's the silly. Hang on. Oh, now I'm not going to find it. The something silly show.
I'd be interested too because
silly show.
The sick and silly show. I'm wondering how tied into each other the movies are, or if they're the ones. Sometimes they do it where it's like, oh, we're gonna make a different movie but call it the same thing, and it's like a loose sequel, but it really has nothing to do with the original. And does Cindy come back in the second episode or second season series movie?
What already got me excited?
I'm just flubbing all over myself.
What already got me excited for the fourth one is in the list of cast there was someone who was cast as game show host.
Ooh.
So there's some sort of game show element in the fourth one.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's what I got. That's what I found for us today.
I mean, I was already like, yeah, just based on the vague ass plot you read it to me, where it just left out so much information. I'm pretty sure that everything we assume about this is going to come out to be true. Like, I'm assuming that these little monsters that come out of his head or whatever, there's no explanation. They just come out of his head and then that's it. Like, we don't see anything else after that of them, what they do or anything. I'm hoping that's the truth. I
mean, with the budget, I would not be surprised if that's what it was. They just started
and it's only an hour.
And that was it.
Yeah. And it's only an hour 17. So you have to figure how much of that is also credits.
Oh, yeah. These probably have a long series of opening credits, at least, I bet.
Dude, it seems like the worst movies always have the longest opening credits.
Now, this was distributed by Brain Damage Films. Not surprised by that, considering what we just read.
What we read and what we've seen.
When
I saw the images originally, because first I looked images before I looked at any video, and I'm just like, oh, this must just be like cosplay of of these costumes. It must be cosplay of what it's supposed to look like. Oh, here's a trailer. Let me see it. It's not cosplay. Those were screenshots of the movie.
Those are the actual costumes used in the movie. But you know what? There's a lot of crazy things that we read in this. But
yeah,
I would say personally, so far the most unbelievable thing that might take me out of the whole thing, the thing I would have the hardest time believing could actually happen, is that someone dozes off during a game of strip Ouija.
Fucking goddamn it!
Come on, you're kidding me, right?
That was the most amazing timing.
What happened? What happened?
Amazing timing of you just saying the biggest thing I wouldn't be able to believe or whatever, and then we lost connection again.
Oh, God. The funniest thing is
no, wait. I don't even know if I want to hear it now. Did you say it on your end?
Yes, I did. Yep.
I'm kind of wondering if I want to have you even finish it or if I just want to hear it later in the recording.
You might, but here's what happened. So I said it.
Yep.
And then immediately after I said it, on my screen it said poor connection and you were frozen. And I'm like, really? Are you kidding? I'm like, are you kidding me?
No, go ahead. Say what you were saying.
No, I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to tell you.
Oh.
Although I wanted, the thing is,
you want my reaction.
Of course, your reaction is not going to be on here, so I don't know what's the point. You want me to say it?
So go ahead and say it. Yeah, and then we'll.
All this build up means it's not going to be worth it. So all I was going to say is the thing that I'm going to have the most trouble believing would actually happen is that someone is going to doze off during a game of strip Ouija.
Oh, I see. I missed that line too. I missed that she dozed off during it.
Yep. Hooray! Comedy, everyone. So
the timing of us losing a connection was absolutely perfect.
That is better than what I said. That's better than the joke I was trying to make. Is what happened when I was trying to make the joke.
We should before we lose connection again. Thanks for joining us on another crazy episode of High School Famous. Goodbye.
It's the craziest yet. Bye.
Wow, bye.
We are on TikTok now, which makes us even cooler. HS Famous. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at HS Famous Pod. Email us directly at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. We have Patreon too, but you'll never go there. Altogether, our hearts beat as one.